All right, guys, welcome to the fourth and final page of the Unit 6 test. Um, and this page is worth 9 points. Now, this one is broken up a little different. The first 4 points actually come from finding slopes and distances. I needed to see that you were finding some slopes and distances of this quadrilateral. And then part A, B, C, D were each worth 1 point. So you could have gotten 1 here. For B, you could have gotten 1. For C, you could have gotten 1 more. For D, you could have gotten 1 more. And then question 10 is also worth 1 point. So on this one, as I take a look at this, the big thing that we look at is everything has to be based off these first 4 points. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the slopes and distances for each one of the 4 segments. So let me first start by graphing this quadrilateral. So negative 6, 3. So left 6, up 3, that is K. And 0, 6, so over 0, up 6 is A. And 2, 2, so right 2, up 2 is R. And left 4, down 1 is L. So that is quadrilateral Carl. And now I'm going to use different colors, and I'm actually going to flip back and forth to another page as well. So I'm going to find KA first. So it looks like I'm going up 1, 2, 3. I'm going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going up 3 and over 6. So KA. Is rise over run. So I'm going to jump back, rising up 3, running over 6. So rise 3, run 6, and that reduces down to 1/2. Now, to find the distance, it is the square root of, and I'm staying on the 3 and the 6, not the reduced 1/2. If you look at my triangle here, my triangle has a leg that's 3 and a leg that's 6. So 3 squared is 9. And 6 squared is 36. So 9 plus 36 is 45. So KA has a slope of 1/2 and a distance of radical 45. So that's a point. You did that, that's a point. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is AR. It looks like it's going over 2. And dropping down 1, 2, 3, 4. So my rise here for AR, my rise is it goes down 4 and right 2. So down 4 and right 2. There's my rise over my run. And that simplifies down to negative 2 over 1. And when I find the distance, again, as I look at this, I'm using the 2 and the 4, not the reduced version. So the 2 squared plus 4 squared. So 2 squared is 4. 4 squared is 16. And 4 plus 16 is 20. So AR has a slope of negative 2 over 1 and a distance of radical 20. All right, so let's go RL. Like it's going to come down 1, 2, 3. It's going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So RL. All right, RL, the rise, it goes down 3, left 6. So down 3, left 6. So that reduces to 1 over 2. And again, that triangle is a 3 by 6 triangle. So 3 squared is 9. 6 squared is 36. 9 plus 36 is 45. All right, and the last segment, KL And it's going down. I know this is down 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes to the right 2. So KL is down 4, right 2. So down 4, right 2. That reduces to negative 2/1. And that triangle is 4 by 2. So 4 squared is 16, 2 squared is 4, and 16 plus 4 is 20. So the first 4 points are having all of this information, having all the slopes and all the distances. So what does part A ask us now? So now as I look at part A, it says determine whether Carl is a parallelogram. And the answer is yes, it is. And you need to choose why. There are a bunch of different reasons. So let me go over to my table. I could say because opposite sides are parallel. I have 1/2 and 1/2. So KA is parallel to RL, and negative 1/2 and negative 1, or negative 2/1, negative 2/1. So I can say KA is parallel to RL, and AR is parallel to KL. So both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. It's a parallelogram. I could say, look at the distances. KA is congruent to RL, and AR is congruent to KL. So both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. I can also say that one pair of opposite sides, KA and RL, are parallel and congruent. They have the same slopes and the same distances. And I could do it with AR and KL as well. So there are a bunch of different ways that I can say that these two things are a parallelogram. And I'll just pick one of them. I don't know. I'll say KA is parallel to RL, and KA is congruent to RL. So one side is both parallel and congruent. That's one of them. Any of the three would have been sufficient. Now it wants to know in part B, is this thing a rectangle? So in B, is Carl a rectangle? So I need to look at consecutive sides, and I need to see whether their slopes are opposite reciprocals. So KA has a slope of 1/2, and then AR has a slope of negative 2/1. That is an opposite reciprocal. So KA and AR are perpendicular. So KA is perpendicular to AR. So Carl is a rectangle. A rectangle is just a parallelogram that has a right angle in it. All right, part C wants to know whether Carl is a rhombus. In order to be a rhombus, all 4 sides have to be the same length. Okay, well, as I look at my distances here, radical 45 and radical 20 are not the same. They are different. They are different. So KA is not congruent to AR. So KA is not equal to AR. So Carl is not a rhombus. Part D says, based on the results from A through C, is Carl a square? Well, Carl is a rectangle, but it's not a rhombus. And in order to be a square, it has to be both. So, since Carl is not a rhombus, it cannot be a square. It would have to be a rhombus in order to be a square. But it is not. It is just a rectangle. And then the very last question is a multiple choice question, and it's worth 1 point. It says if points R and T have the coordinates negative 5, 8 and 3, 14, which of the following points lies at the midpoint? So in order to find the midpoint, I have to find the average of the x's. So add them up and divide by 2. Find the average of the y's, which means add up my y values and divide by 2. So let's start with my x's. X, y, x, y. Add the x's together. Negative 5 plus 3. Negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. Divided by 2 is negative 1. And then my y values are 8 and 14. Add those together. That's 22 divided by 2, which is 11. So I'm looking for the point with the x value at negative 1 and the y value at 11. And that answer is B as in boy. B as in boy. I had to add them up and divide by 2. Had a lot of people on that one try to subtract them. Remember, finding a midpoint is finding an average. So add them up and divide by 2. That's it for page 4. See you guys soon.